Are you feeling overwhelmed, scrolling through YouTube, looking for a short practice that you can do just to regulate yourself really quickly? If you feel that chaos just bubbling up inside of you right now, just commit to watching this video. I'm Sushmita, but you can call me Sushi, and today I'm going to give you a simple framework to help you actively guide yourself out of the storm. This isn't just a random flow, it's a precise, powerful framework that I've refined over the years. And after spending over a decade teaching yoga and helping thousands of people navigate their own inner worlds, I can tell you this, I still have those days. Those days when, I can't just roll out my mat and practice. In fact, today was one of those days when I just felt like my mind was all over the place and my entire system was going into this spiral. But instead of putting a band-aid on a broken wound, all I did was apply the same tools that I teach my students inside the Yoga Mastery program on myself to address the root of my dysregulation. And the students who master this protocol early on know that they don't need more time. They just need the right instructions that will put them back into the driver's seat of their own emotions. So grab a timer and let's hit the emergency reset button on your nervous system. Okay, so here it is, the 20-minute mental reset protocol. When your day is spiraling out of control, this simple 20-minute protocol will help you regain your mental and emotional balance. Now, this is designed for busy people, so it requires very little equipment, maybe just a mat and like a room that way you can close the door, and it provides you a maximum impact in terms of your well-being. So let's go in. The first one is just to acknowledge and commit. Now, the power of recognition, I cannot emphasize enough, because if you just pause for a second and you acknowledge your current state, you put your hand on your heart and you say, okay, this is what I'm feeling right now. By admitting that you're feeling dysregulated, you're feeling out of your normal self, you can take its power away from you. And I promise you, if you just give yourself 20 minutes, just commit to 20 minutes in this practice, no more, no less, give your mind this like structure, then you'll know that this time constraint, firstly, it creates focus, which means that all you've got to do is 20 minutes, focus, and you're done. But it also makes the commitment kind of manageable, even on your busiest days. Even on the days when you feel completely overwhelmed, you can still tell yourself 20 minutes is what I have and 20 minutes is all I need to make myself feel a little bit different. Now, stage one is just to curate your environment. Now, this shouldn't take you more than 2 minutes, but the main thing is to remove all distractions. So take your phone, put it in a different room. If it means going down to your car and locking your door, do that, because this is a non-negotiable. Close the door and dim the lights, because you don't want any extra noise, you don't want any extra lights, you just want to signal to your brain that this is a special time where you're going inwards. Next, you're going to create a calm space, so you can roll out your mat, maybe clean it a little bit, and find a comfortable spot. Now, if you have a dirty pile of laundry or you just feel like your environment is too busy, go outside and make sure that you're in comfortable clothes. So change, put on some yoga clothes, and allow yourself to just step on the mat. The third thing is to add some sensory cues. Now, I like to light some incense or a candle or whatever that helps you shift the attention away from your mundane daily life into something sacred, something that, feels like you're doing this for yourself. So step number one, curate your environment. This shouldn't take you more than 2 minutes. Remove your distractions, create a calm space, and add some kind of sensory cue to tell your brain that this is a different activity. Step number two is to do the brain dump. Now, this shouldn't take you more than 3 minutes. If you give yourself endless time, you're going to keep complaining about all the things that are wrong. So empty your mind through physical action, not just thinking about everything in your head. So take a piece of paper. You don't need a fancy app. You don't need any technology. Just grab a piece of paper and free write. I'd like you to use this journaling prompt where you just list 10 things that are negatively affecting your ability to be mentally still right now. I'll repeat that once more. List down 10 things that are negatively affecting your ability to be mentally still right now. Now, if you give yourself a prompt, you don't just go off into stories, you don't just go off into your to-do list, you actually just tell yourself, this is what is preventing me from being calm, being regulated right now. If you can't get to 10, get to 5, but list them down in a bullet point format. And this act of just getting your thoughts onto paper, one, validates them because it gives them some kind of airtime, it gives them space to just express. And then this critical thing, the second thing, is that it actually acknowledges that this current mental state, this is your before state. Before you attempt to change it, before you attempt to transform it, you're at least acknowledging what is happening in your internal landscape. So once you complete this, is physically just crumple that piece of paper and throw it away. I know you might not want to do this because you just took all this time to identify what the problems are, but just for this symbolic release of the mental clutter weighing you down, crumple it. You can always uncrumple it and throw it away. So step number 2, do the brain dump. Don't take long. It shouldn't take you more than 3 minutes if you just list down 10 things. Step number 3, and this is where you come to working with the stillness and the breath. So this is genuinely the hardest part. I find this to be the hardest part, to just sit down and do nothing, because your mind will rebel. It will throw up a tantrum. It'll replay conversations. It'll tell you what you haven't done yet, and it'll do anything it can to just get you to stand up, roll up your mat and leave. But this is where you must be firm. This is where you build that sense of like resilience in the face of resistance. So step number 1 is you're going to sit down and you're just going to feel your ground. You're going to feel this like nice wide base. You can sit on top of a cushion or a block and just notice your connection of your hips and your knees to the floor, the sense of groundedness, and allow just the earth to receive you. That sense of being held and grounded and coming to the present moment, that is the first step. If you can't do this, just make sure that you're, sitting on a chair, or if you can't sit cross-legged on the floor, whatever to really ground you and bring you to the present moment in a physical way. The second step is to find your breath. Now, this is also hard because it's harder for us to notice our breath in and out through the nose. So if you can't focus on the nose, don't worry about it. Focus on your chest, focus on the rise and fall of your belly. Even bring your hands to your belly or to your chest so that you give yourself this physical indicator to breathe a little bit deeper and to anchor you through the breath. Now, the third step is to practice Ujjayi breath. Now, Ujjayi breath is a technique that we teach inside the program, but it's basically to constrict the base of the throat and pull the breath up against a pressure. Now, this breath makes this ocean-like sound, and I want you to be able to take 12 conscious breaths. Now, when you start, you'll do 1 or 2 rounds, and then your mind will wander. I don't want you to give up until you can listen to 12 full breaths. So after 2-3 rounds, if your mind wanders or you can't hear the full sound of the breath, start again. If you start again, you're actually signaling to your body and mind that you're getting it to comply. You won't go on, or you won't do the next thing until you can hear those 12 conscious breaths. So be really patient with yourself, even if it means starting again a few times. Sit down and listen to those 12 conscious breaths. Yeah. So step number 3 is to find the breath and find your grounding. Step number 4 is to create some intentional movements. Now, this should take you about 8 to 10 minutes if you do like 1 Surya Namaskar per minute. But after you complete your 12 conscious breaths, stand up, don't pause, don't create a break, don't go use the bathroom, don't do anything else. Just tell yourself, I will do 10 sun salutations. Your body will obviously try to distract you. It'll be like, oh, I'm cold, maybe I need to do this, maybe I need to go check on something on the kitchen. Like, don't listen. Move directly from sitting straight into standing and just get your body moving. The first sun salutation will feel like a creaky old grandma. Just expect it. This is how it's going to be. Now, before you start to move, you'll feel really sore, you'll feel really tight, but just acknowledge this is my before state. And the goal isn't to have the perfect downward dog or the perfect chaturanga. It's just to focus on one thing, on a single task. Your entire intention through these 10 sun salutations is just complete focus on a single task. So use your fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know we have 5 fingers. So use your fingers, press down your fingers to count yourself down from 10 to 1 or 1 to 10. And as you go through each of these sun salutations, treat yourself as if you're a student in a class and there's a teacher, this intellect, this part of you that's guiding yourself through these poses. So tell yourself, inhale, arms up, exhale, arms down. Each inhale, each exhale, each movement, guide yourself through the sun salutations. Now it's easy to follow a video here and say, oh yeah, I'm just going to switch on YouTube and look for like a 10-minute practice. But it's not the same because you won't activate this inner guide. You won't activate the part of you, the parent part of you, the buddhi that actually controls the child part of you, the mind or the manas. So I want you really to do this by yourself. 10 sun salutations, use your fingers, really count and bring yourself from a place of creaky old grandma to energized, strong individual. Yeah? Step number 5, and this is perhaps the most important part, is to rest and absorb. Now, you might have 1-2 minutes left in the timer, so I just want you to finish your 10 sun salutations and as if you're dropping dead on the floor, come into Shavasana immediately after you finish your practice. And in Shavasana, I don't want you to fidget or adjust or do anything different. I know your body will be like, oh my gosh, I need to get up and do the next thing. But this final period of rest is just where your body and nervous system helps, like it's integrating the whole practice. It's as important as the movement itself because it allows you to fully absorb all the practice that you've been doing. So when the timer goes off and it's 20 minutes is done, sit up slowly, don't just get up out of Shavasana, and acknowledge your after state. See that your mind feels a bit more clear. See if you can still stay connected to that Ujjayi breath that we started with, and you've moved with intention, you've done everything that you can, and you've allowed yourself to rest. And it only took you 20 minutes. So I just want you to see this as going from this place of spiraling and feeling overwhelmed to a place of centeredness, and it only took you 20 minutes. Even if you started off your day feeling overwhelmed and scattered and physically tense and emotionally reactive, after you do the protocol, you'll notice yourself feeling calm, feeling focused, feeling physically relaxed, and a little bit less emotionally reactive. You've proven to yourself that you have the ability to shift your state in such a short period of time so that when you carry on with your day, you're not a victim of your circumstances, you're much more this calm center of your own life. So try this protocol whenever you feel yourself spiraling and notice how quickly you can bring yourself back into this state of balance in just under 20 minutes. So just to quickly recap, remember to acknowledge your state before you begin and say to yourself, this is what I'm working with today. Clean your environment, roll out your mat, make sure you're in yoga clothes to signal to yourself that this is your time to practice. Remove all your distractions, and when you're on the mat, make sure you write down everything that's on your mind, 10 things that are preventing you from feeling mentally calm right now, and then regulate your breath. Find your grounding, sit down, really feel your center, and then immediately, without taking a break, move into 10 sun salutations. If you finish these 10 sun salutations, I promise you, you will feel different because then you can lie down in Shavasana and just absorb your practice. Once you're done with this, make sure to hit the notification bell and the subscribe button because I make these videos just for you. We are a small channel. And if you wish to learn more about my programs or how you can start your yoga journey, there is a link for that in the description below where you can set up a call and we can chat more about your goals.